Transforming simple automation into an autonomous digital worker is a fundamental shift in the way you think, and following good architectural principles is even more important because agents are not traditional code or integrations. They require a new method of problem solving completely unique to them. In the next few minutes, we'll be taking what used to be a simple task and turning it into a role, an error analyst agent. And then we'll be expanding on that role into an integrations operations specialist. All right, so here we see a pretty standard error handling process built in Boomi integration. So you'll notice a couple of things here. First off, we have our try catch here. So we try this REST operation, and then when it fails, we go into the catch path. Right? This is a very common thing you'd see in maybe a reusable error handling process in Boomi today. Very simple catch path as well. So again, we're taking this task of error handling and we're saying, okay, take the message, parse the error, and then send out a notification to our support team. Right? Again, this is very basic A to B kind of task. If there's an error, send an email or raise a notification or just do something very straightforward so that we can troubleshoot the issue. So here's a very similar error handling process. In fact, it's just a copy of the previous one, but we've changed one thing. So instead of the notify step here, we have an agent. And we have dropped this agent into our error handling flow to manage the role of a tier 1 support specialist. So it steps into the role of parsing the error, figuring out what went wrong, and then in our very simple case, recommending a solution. As we get more complicated with agents, it may even be able to make some suggested changes or rerun the process, taking over that role of that level 1 support agent. Right? So this is stepping out of the task and into a role automation within your IT landscape. Okay, so here we are in Agent Garden looking at our integration error agent. The goal for this agent is to analyze Boomi integration errors and provide troubleshooting recommendations, like I mentioned, right? So the goal is to process the error and then send the troubleshooting recommendation out to this integration team to deal with the issue, right? So it's automating this role of that level 1 support technician by providing the recommendation for the solution. You'll see we have 2 tasks here that define what the agent is capable of doing, or they define the role for our agent. Right, so we have our error log analysis task here. The purpose of this is to collect and analyze Boomi integration error logs. Right, just take the logs, figure out what went wrong, and parse the error type. Right. The next thing is to create a notification. So all it's doing is taking the analysis that it did in the first task and putting it into an email to send to whoever we decide we need it to be sent to, right? In this case, we just have an API tool that sends an email out via our email server. Now, this all was installed directly from Marketplace, so you could go and pull this agent today. Let's take a look at maybe a more advanced version that we've made some changes to based on this agent. So we'll navigate back out here. And we'll look at our integration operations specialist agent here. Right out of the gate, you'll see some more sophisticated things being done in here. So we've changed the goal, we've modified it, and added some more information. This agent has the ability to monitor, diagnose, and resolve integration failures. It's an intelligent assistant. It fills the role of both that level 1 support technician and even into the developer side, as we'll see in just a second. We've actually added a couple of more tools to this agent as well, or a couple more tasks, excuse me. With several more tools. So we have our error analysis and diagnosis tool, right? Very similar to the first task in our previous agent. We've given it some more information and some more instructions on how to analyze and diagnose agents. We've also given it a few more tools. So in this case, we allow this agent to query out errors from its history. So it can see if an integration has failed in this way before, and then make an intelligent recommendation based on that error history. We can also see things like process health or system status. So we gain a little bit more environment context for how we might resolve the issue with the integration at hand. We also have a couple of tools plugged into our resolution, recommendation, and implementation task, right? Again, a little bit of a parallel for one of the tasks we had in the previous one. It has the ability to access runbook documentation or even restart the failed process, right? So it can completely re-trigger that process if it needs to. We've added a couple of things here. So we've broken out the notification and escalation task. You'll see here we have a couple of things. So we can send an alert in Slack. It'll create a ServiceNow incident and send an email. So again, we're multi-pronged notification after it has already analyzed, diagnosed the issue. It may have even made an attempt to resolve the issue. So it might not even get to this task if it's able to resolve the issue in the second task there. The last thing it's capable of doing is doing some pattern analysis, right? So it can update the runbook with new information. If this error is consistent, what resolved the error, kind of maintain that history for itself over time so that it becomes more intelligent the more that it runs. So in a way, the more errors that it sees, the better it is at resolving them. The next thing we're going to look at with this agent is the guardrails. So we have a guardrail here that prevents our agent from talking about certain things, right? In this case, because this agent could be accessed via chat, we don't want this agent to be able to do things like share API keys it has access to or return database passwords. We also don't want it to engage in just casual conversation for the purpose of keeping our runbook clean, right? Again, it has access to all of this stuff. It can make changes in these systems. We don't want some well-meaning engineer to have this agent tell them a joke and then log that joke in the runbook, right? So we've restricted what our agent is able to do by adding these sample phrases in this denied topic. A question I often get is, are these exact matches, right? Does it have to see this exact phrase? And the answer is no. This is a soft match or a fuzzy match, right? If anybody asks a question that is vaguely similar to, hey, can I get the API keys you have access to? Or do you have API keys that I can have? Or any variant of that question, it will hit this denied topic and trigger the guardrail, right? When the guardrail triggers, it will return this message. So at any point in the agent's execution, at the beginning, in the middle, at the end, if it hits the guardrail we've defined, it will return this block message and prevent any sensitive information from making it out of the runtime. The last thing you'll see here is the summary of our agent, defining what we've set this up to do, right? You'll see all of the stuff we've walked through. You'll see our guardrails, you'll see our tasks and instructions, you'll see the goal and the name and all that stuff. So the only thing we have left to do now is deploy our agent out for use in the organization.